How do you plan for death? Most people will get a life insurance policy and call it a day. But I want to ask today, if you were to die tomorrow, how long would it take your family to sift through your belongings and to get your house cleaned up and emptied? When we transition, we don't just leave behind broken hearts, wills, and insurance policies. We also leave behind everything that was once useful to us in life. Our property, our belongings. We plan for parties, dinners, going to church, vacations, everything. Just about everything except death. We plan for death on a surface level, but not in the same way that we plan for everything else. Death and transitioning is a part of life, just like everything else, and it should be planned and treated with care. Now, this is not a video about final expense plans or estates, but we will talk about an often overlooked aspect of dying. What happens to our belongings? We are alive and have use for our things until the point in which we don't. The problem is that change can occur instantly, overnight in some cases. We cannot plan the day that we will leave this earth, and maybe that's why many of us don't bother even trying to plan what will be done with our things when we die. Planning the transition or intention of your belongings is so beneficial. One, it helps your family to know what to do with everything. Secondly, it creates intention and it makes the process easier for them because most of what will remain will be beneficial and meaningful. Third, it can create intention for your items even while you're still living by allowing you to declutter intentionally and focus on items that will enhance your quality of life and benefit others when it's no longer of use to you. And I know you may be thinking, isn't this such a strange thing to do, to plan my belongings while I'm alive for the day that I die? In short, maybe it is. Enter the practice of Swedish death cleaning. Swedish death cleaning is a practice that has two primary goals. One is to make your life more organized right now by only focusing on what is necessary and meaningful and beneficial to your life. It actually sounds a lot like the core values of minimalism. Second, Swedish death cleaning is a practice that eliminates the burden on your loved ones when you pass. If you make it a regular habit to organize and to declutter your life, no one will have to do it for you when you leave this earth. And while this practice may be a little strange to some, we should be asking why we put off the planning of death. Why do we hide from the topic? Why is it so difficult for us to confront something that is so normal? Well, I think the obvious is knowing that the end of what we, as a society anyway, recognize as life. Anything else that we plan for, we also become a participant of. You'll be at the party that you're planning. You'll be at the wedding. You'll be at the baby shower, the housewarming. And sure, you will physically be at your funeral, but your soul will not be there to witness it. So the planning of your death can make you uncomfortable because of what it brings up, the permanency of physical death. Now here I'd like to bring two things to mind. One, death is not permanent for the believer of Jesus Christ. In your physical death, you result to be reunited with him forever. Now, if that doesn't soften the blow enough, enter the Swedish death party. Let's combine the practice of Swedish death cleaning with what we know about traditional parties. While it doesn't really sound fun, Swedish death cleaning can actually be made into an event. Just like you would have a 50th party for your birthday, you can have a Swedish death cleaning party. The idea is to begin to touch everything in your home with the thought of, is this meaningful or useful to me now? Or will it be meaningful or useful to anyone else if I gifted it to them? Now, if the answer to both of those questions is no, and it's not something that you use regularly, you should begin to decide what to do with it. This could be keep it, donate it, gift it to someone who you know will make good use of it. Once you get through a good bit of items and you know what you want to do with them, this can become a party where you serve food, drinks, even cake, and you set the intentions for some of the items you currently have. Bring it all into a room where you'll be partying and explain the meaning and the value behind each piece, but also explain what you intend to do with them after transitioning. If there's a person that you would like to have something, say it. Is there a family member you know would make good use of something? Is there someone you want to give it to for sentiment? And to be fair, maybe there are some items you have no idea what to do with them, but you know that they have meaning. Family heirlooms are things that were handed down. Maybe you don't know what to do with some of the items, but maybe there's someone who's going to be present at this party that will request it. This may still seem off-putting to you, but I also want to add that it can be a great time to create and share memories. Maybe you own a sewing machine that was your great-grandmother's, and she handmade all of the clothes for you and your brothers and sisters and cousins when you were children. She passed the sewing machine on to you, and she taught you to sew. Maybe it's a sweater or a doll, anything of sentimental value. Maybe you know exactly who you want to give those items to. And in doing this party and incorporating this practice, you allow everyone who's present to share that memory as you set intentions for these items. And you are simultaneously ridding your home of junk and clutter. This practice of a Swedish death party can be very intimidating, and it may even come off as insane. But it's a great creative way to be proactive about your physical possessions while also allowing for the celebration and memory keeping opportunity for an event, your death, that you wouldn't otherwise be a part of.